Welcome to your reading, Cancer. Today is going to be a zodiac specific reading, as you can tell, taking a moment to re-cleanse the space. And let's tell you a little bit about the reading. So it's been a while since we've done the zodiac specific reading, and what I did this time was a bunch of spirit driven pulls. As far as I took a blank note card for every sign of the zodiac, wrote down the symbol for each of the signs, and then shuffled them, mixed them all up really well, and without looking, took the cards, meditated on the energies, and wrote down the impressions and channeled messages on the note card. And then I took them again, shuffled them all up really great, put them all out on the desk, and then started going through a number of decks that I wanted to call in the messages and just stacking them out onto the cards. So you will see a mix of many different decks here today, all listed below in the description box as usual. And so I have no idea what your message is, and it's already right here. We're going to start with the channeled messages. I'll give you a peek at that. And then we have a Tao Te Ching message, an Art of War advice, and then a few oracle cards, some archetypes, and some mixed shamanic decks. Then we have the Akashic Tarot, followed by a little bit more tarot clarity. And the last, we're going to finish up with the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. So a few things coming into this reading. Let's go ahead and take a little bit, just another more smudge here while the herbs are kicking. So a lot of Cancer energy started coming in during the middle of the Scorpio reading. So I don't know if you have Scorpio placements that are being activated, or if another individual within your story or a person of importance in your life is Scorpio or has Scorpio placements, but maybe that message has some messages for you. So as I was doing these all blindly, then all of the piles of cards were laying on the other desk waiting to be pulled, and I pulled them one at a time. Which one needs to be next? Which one is lit up? Which one needs me to take it? And Cancer, you are last, but certainly not least. This is your birthday season. We just had the Cancer new moon, and we're heading into a Capricorn full moon, your oppositional energy. And this is going to be the second Capricorn full moon in a row. So this is really drawing you forward and out of your habits or comfort zones. And I think we're all there as well to a different extent. But also, this reading is within the 30-day window preceding the Lionsgate portal coming up on August 8th of 2024, which is in 8 years. This is going to be 888. And I didn't mention it in some of the other videos, but there's at least 3 dates that have the 8 code inherent to them. The 17th, 1 plus 7. And then what are the next ones? 26, and those are the main 3, and I may have missed one. So anyways, let's go ahead and, well, oh yes, this is the last thing I wanted to say. Because of the capacity of my phone to record, or not as the case may be, it heats up. And so one of the things that I had to do before your reading was I had to pause. And all of these things come into the reading as a message of importance symbolically. So I had to pause, and I glanced over, and I never do word searches if I'm just given whatever choice of whatever I would want to do. It's not something I'd pick up. But over in the corner here, in this space, since I entertained, I had this giant word search, and it drew me in, and I'm like, okay, giant word search. Are you looking for the right words, looking for some big word to convey a powerful meaning? Are you searching for meaning? looking for small print. This is a large print edition. I don't know how I happened to come upon it, but then so I opened it. I spent some time relaxing before it was time. It wasn't time to do the reading because I had to be patient and wait for the heat to dissipate from a conversation, maybe because it's the phone, it's the our connectivity, interconnectivity, interweb, at a distance, my connection to the world. Get it, all of those symbologies. So whatever comes through for you. And in this case, it was the 60th word search was pro baseball teams, and 61st was too fancy for Sue, which is a sous chef, I don't know, cooking and sports. I don't know what that has to do with today's messages, but there you have it. All right, without further ado, let us get into this Cancer energy that's been wanting to step forward. Happy birthday if it is your birthday season or birth date itself for sun signs. Let's give you a look at your card. I am on reverse here, so you'll have to screenshot, flip that script, and go ahead and meditate on those for other messages that are specific to you that might step through. I'm going to go ahead and try not to explain the impressions I get, not to interpret, and just to leave these symbolically here. We have inflamed, fiery, passionate, asserting, boundaries, resonance, caught off guard, disloyal hearts do not define you. Burn away injustice or indifference. Incredible success awaits. Redirected towards purpose. Leave distracting energy alone, underscored with lone, especially underlined. Fire-breathing dragon. Spirit's protective circle surrounds. So perhaps this fire-breathing dragon spirit's protective circle surrounds you. Reputation is secure. New vibe, new tribe. Looking forward. Inner brilliance. Lit up. Place effort towards personal path. Self-serve fuel. So self-serving motivation, inspiration as well. And a quote vehicle could be the vehicle of self. Vehicle service station, speaking perhaps of the Merkaba auric shield and field and our ability to travel astrally or so on. Public recognition, leadership role, money balance, watch spending, perhaps a large purchase maybe in your future or lying ahead, and have faith in your skills. Perhaps others are having faith in your skills. So the overall vibe here is you're getting yourself together and making some good progress. So Cancer in the tarot rules over the Chariot card, which is all about vehicle, momentum, travel. So let's see how many synchronicities start to come forward for those preceding messages. You get the number 40 card from the Tao Te Ching. Return is the movement of the Tao. Yielding is the way of the Tao. All things are born of being. Being is born of non-being. Very interesting. So the feminine aspects, I know that Cancer is cardinal, which is what came into the Scorpio reading. I started to say, oh, as Cancer, the cardinal sign, you are the leader of the water signs. You are the one that is more or most assertive in many general speaking cases than the other water signs, unless placements kind of alter that makeup. But yeah, so this is talking about yielding, allowing other people perhaps to take the lead or to be in charge, or being willing and able to follow somebody who has a wise approach that we can learn something from. If there's resonance, um, not wasting any energy in the duality of thinking, well, who the hell do they think they are? It's like, if you resonate, then let them shine brightly so that you're also being inspired and um, not frictional against that energy somehow. I don't know why that even came up, right? Uh, it seems not what I was going to say. So yielding, letting things be, letting other people be how they are and who they are and whatever quirky mess they need to be. It's their journey. Don't let that define you. Yeah, and just letting things ride. It's so easy to say, right? Let's see what the Art of War advises. Sun Tzu said, by persistently hanging on the enemy's flank, we shall succeed in the long run in killing the commander in chief. Brutal. So, uh, a few things coming to my attention here. It's like maybe you admire somebody and you're kind of like that understudy vibration where you witness that they have some wisdom or some clout or some other thing that you're aspiring to learn from them. And maybe it kind of there's some level of discomfort in this exchange or in needing to follow somebody else. It's like, haven't I learned enough? Why am I encountering the need to do more stuff? But I think that we're all once in a while like, can't I just run forward, especially when we have a lot of cardinal energy at play. But it's like, by allowing yourself to be the understudy of a vibration that you really want to call into your life, you can kind of witness how it's done. How does this person embody their energy? What are their perspectives when, let's say, you vent and say, oh, well, such and such did this thing that bothered me. And this person's like, oh, well, I've always kind of just let that be something that defines them and not something that I give any attention to. And you're like, oh, eureka, right? Why did I care about that person being the way that they were? And I'm not saying that this is how it was, but yeah, by not resisting the energy, it's like we may be providing that feedback or that better perspective into another's life that's kind of influencing us or affecting us, or it could be our own type of transmuting one type of initial reaction to something versus now the elevated responsiveness with energies and how they flow. And so we're learning something from another, or they're learning from us, but it looks almost, to me, more so take this as it resonates. It doesn't need to be you, flip it and reverse it if you need. But it seems to me that you're kind of esteeming somebody or learning something from them by kind of shadowing that understudy energy, and that eventually you will surpass that level, perhaps by the I Ching often talks about reducing oneself in order to ultimately find elevation as a byproduct of reducing. Um, and that kind of borders on playing small. So that's not what I'm suggesting. It's an energetic thing. It'll probably come up if it needs to. I trust and leave that there. So yeah, if you're looking for a leadership role, take the time to learn that new skill. And yeah, not resenting others. That's why it came up. There's some kind of enemies, turning enemies into friends. So if there's some type of friction in this partnership, it's like alignment rather than butting heads. Like, let's say you were both up for the same position in a committee and they got president and you're vice president. And you're like, well, why didn't I get president? I blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, more can be accomplished when we witness synergy, and instead of resenting or thinking that you did more than they did, go ahead and look deeper into the situation, learn the skills that earned them something, and then next time it's your turn or something like that, right? So I think that you're witnessing this situation, or you've just advanced beyond this. Turn enemies into friends. When someone's aggressive and in your face, stay calm, watch, and learn. They may simply want to be heard, and the more they say, the more they educate you about their problem. Don't shout back or walk away. Stay silent and listen. You may be able to find a solution for them, thus turning a perceived enemy into an ally, a rare and precious skill. That's gorgeous. Much better than the description that I gave. So, yes, so it doesn't have to be a hierarchical difference or an esteem and understudy in this case. If I had read this before my tangent, but the tangent's important as well, right? So that we can expand the message for those that need it. But if somebody else is having a hard time and being reactive, our ability to not be reactive and going to their level in this can help us to, instead of butting heads, to actually be like, okay, it sounds like you're upset. Tell me more about where there's a difference between what's going on and what your expectation was, because I'm not clear. For example, leaning into something can really create a lot of cooperative, synergistic energy. And being the cardinal sign and the emotional connectivity, you're the leader of the emotions. Like, tell me more about your anger. You're good at this, probably better than me, which is why it took me so many words to get there. The great word search. Like, look at allowing somebody else to search for the right words and just being like, where are you going with this? Why are you so angry? Or why are you so fill in the blank? Here we go. Yes. Okay. That's gorgeous. So this must be 49. Not the best at Roman numerals. The fault line, talking about not being the best at. I know that there are many individuals with very unbalanced, not that they're imbalanced per se, but a little bit of a lack of water in their chart. Like, they may have a bunch of elements in earth and air, which makes them very, maybe perhaps fixed minded, or, rutted patterns. Talk about the fault line. That's a very deep chasm there. And it's a very deep rut. People can get into their habits. And if somebody's fiery, they're not going to identify that as an emotion per se. It's like force and energy, and it seems aggressive. And it seems like somebody here, whether it's yourself or another, has some type of inability to either be direct about their feelings or to identify their own feelings. And then it kind of comes out in the wrong way. And so with this fault line, somebody's learning a lot about either how to cooperate with other individuals and how to, reach across the aisle, this great divide, this canyon here. It's like we've all got this duality at play. And I think that you're learning how to catch more bees or flies with honey than with vinegar, or whatever the saying is. I can never bring in those sayings during the broadcast. And I have an incredibly itchy nose during your reading. I don't know if that's something for you. I keep thinking it's like a hair in my face or something like this. But now that I've said it, hopefully it can pass. So the next archetypal card you have received is the 18, the Siren, which is a card of perhaps temptation, allure, magnetism, but it's also shown with a mermaid's tail. So, perhaps the Pisces reading has some elements for you. And there's the nose one more time. So it's something about getting to the depths of something finds the gem. It finds whether it's the commonality or the resonance where previously there was dissonance, cognitive dissonance, even within the self. It's like, well, I'm being so accommodating. Why can't people understand me? And then all of a sudden there's this awareness of, the way that you're perhaps engaging. them or you. And so I'm sensing that for many of you, it's going to be kind of a mutual awareness. Like we become aware of something either with them or self, and then we kind of like, oh, I see where I can do that. And I see where I can correct that. But I also believe that you are seeing how you can utilize this to draw other people out into their own emotional mastery. So inflamed, fiery, passionate, asserting, caught off guard. This is when somebody is aggressive and in your face. Stay calm, watch and listen. It's interesting. Burning away injustice and indifference. It's like, yes, I care, tell me more. Even if it's an argument, like somebody's like, you did something wrong, you parked in my spot, you whatever you did, you didn't call me at 3 p.m. on the 3rd. Anyways, there's incredible success, an incredible breakthrough event here, because in the moment this is even looking like an egg breaking through, and 2 signs, Capricorn and another, had egg symbolism, like this breaking through the egg, a rebirth, or just breaking through a previous limitation, like we are identified with the everyday and the earthly body, and then all of a sudden becoming aware of another level, something that is like a breakthrough moment where then we can kind of start to connect with somebody. Fortitude comes next. This is a beautiful earthy card to me. It shows this individual with many different totem animals here, a very strong and empowered masculine. The antlers on his head is like his maturity and emotional maturity for sure in this, especially there's all this blue energy. Otter here at the bottom, beautiful otters. The karmic thread between his fingers holding up the heart, being compassionate, trying to kind of gather what somebody's point is and to pull on the thread of the karma. And why are they yelling? Why are they so upset? Instead of yelling back, this individual has seen many energies. It's like, this is beautiful too. Do you see all these individuals in the background, whether spirit or ancestors in spirit? It kind of appears that there are many essences healing through your abilities. Could be the individuals that you're working with or that are looking to you for some type of emotional modeling or guidance. Could be family members currently, right? And this individual having all of this instinctual knowledge and the ability to be quick and inspired and all of these things. This individual, I'm feeling you're really helping individuals and you're healing and transmuting a lot of the emotional intensity of the world. And this can be a blessing and a curse for some of you. But there are treasures hidden in the shadows of other individuals because you've been working on your own shadow and helping others to see their depths and so on. There's some guideposts and synchronicities showing themselves through the things that others are dealing with, perhaps being able to then, when we witness somebody else's longing or frustration, we can also then look at that within the self and create self-healing through others' process. It's part of maybe your service work to be this emotional processor, but it can be very heavy. And so, to be engaged in the lower world of self and others, it's definitely, were you the one that said, nope, somebody else was come up for air, but it just spoke to me again. So yeah, somebody is, I feel like many of you, that new vibe, new tribe, it's like maybe you're just coming up for air in a situation and recognizing that your involvement with a group dynamic or with certain friends is maybe something that's going to now not be in your inner circle, but allowing certain energies to go their own separate ways, or needing your own energy to looking at the lower world of others and self is a lot of integrated shadow work, a lot of shamanic work here going on, but also to cleanse, clear, and detox those energies. Yeah, and to integrate, because 31 is also the 13, little mirroring image there. And I'm seeing this waterfall energy. The waterfall came through the Scorpio reading as well. And that's when I was seeing that waterfall, I was really seeing Cancer energy. And I was talking about the power and intensity of going from one level and then plummeting down to be able to become momentum, and then gravity pulling, and powerful downloads crashing in, and then becoming the nice chill pond there. It's like being able to shift our pond, our waters, our emotional intensity levels, and to be able to integrate our own and others in that way. So the Akashic Tarot here, we have the 11 master number, which comes across as the Ark of the Covenant. I'm very curious what I don't know about this. I'm not sure if it's the story of the Golden Fleece or something along those lines. It's some kind of relic that individuals went on a quest for. It could have been some kind of very sacred thing that they were told to go and recover, or it's a story of something with like a mission trip and then taking something sacred around and showing it. But yes, master number 11, to me, 11 is about self-inspiration, self-individuation, and also self recursive healing, like being able to be the master of your own energetic exchange, if that makes sense, and self-activating principles, sovereignty in great measure. So yes, the 11 is the self-activating card. And so maybe you've really been on a mission, and look at this fireside talk. Maybe this is that inflamed fire energy here. And maybe this is speaking about the conversations that happen in the intimate moments of when the light becomes less bright in the darkness, when people feel more vulnerable. Or it can talk about an aggressive meeting with that fire between them, or something that has friction or tension in it. But there's a tent in the desert here creating the shade. There's the fire helping guard against the extreme fluctuation of heat and cold in the desert. It's connection with oneself, and then seeing this other is like the ability to connect over sacred flame. It's like to become one in that resonance moment of meeting another individual and holding space and accepting them as they are. And number 3, the second one is 3 of Roses, which is the water element, hearts, cups, loving elementals. I kind of feel cute and cuddly all of a sudden. There's those fairies, there's that water nymph coming out. And this baby here, maybe your inner child, is really in touch with all of these elementals, and maybe something like loving others and turning any type of anxiety and doubt and that type of a thing, alchemizing that into delightful sensitivities and celebration energy. Is like you're able to help people to feel that sisterhood, brotherhood energy here. So love your element of water. Love the capacity that you have for connecting with that water energy within self and others, and knowing how to detox your own waters here and let things kind of roll by you without letting those darker energies define you or distract you is going to be part of your dharma, your karma in this lifetime, perhaps related to a lifelong, perhaps pattern that could be nurtured into you as well, along the lines of feeling like you've always got to listen and be the counselor for other individuals. At some level, I do want to suggest that for some, if this is creating an imbalance in a relationship, if you're not being paid to be somebody's therapist, make sure to have healthy boundaries here. Because during one of the things that came up here, that protective circle and whatnot, setting up parameters is under the Whispers of the Ocean deck. Assess your relationships, make sure they're aligned with your goals. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. So let's speed things up. We're right at the end of the reading. Oh, a couple of queens coming out. We've got Queen of Crystals, which is Pentacles, Temperance, and Queen of Feathers. So hedgehog energy, protective, comfort, and prosperity. Being protective of your own energy, know your value. Temperance, moderating yourself and the ability and the extent to which people get access to your energy, perhaps. You can seem very exotic to others with the zebra energy, but you're learning how to balance and harmonize the energies. And if something's too dark for you, referring somebody to someone who is qualified, or somebody who's not you might be a thing. Cutting things and calling truth out with this Queen of Feathers, the sword suit, perception and the truth. And nocturnal, yes, something about the nighttime here. And maybe you're up at night because of these energies, and there's a need to cut that out of your life. So you get Cat People Tarot. Some people got Celtic Dragon. You get the World, closing out this cycle, dancing forward with success. Maybe you're going to be a good life coach or something, but worldly success. Six of Swords. This is kind of like it's a Libra. It's questing, healing after something, taking a journey again at night there. Look at how suspicious that cat is. There's something in your energy here. But Knight of Wands, you're moving beyond it. You're tapping your mojo. Look at those little bubbles in the background. It's like they're underwater here a little bit. It's I know it's the suit of fire, but it's like heated water. And then we have Two of Pentacles, balance, choice, and connectivity. So perhaps you're helping others heal with your energy, healing yourself. Maybe you're making this part of your job description, in this committee or so on, a moderator. And we're right at the end of our recording time. I see 15, adrift in shallow waters. Take a few deep breaths and connect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. So there's definitely a lot of energies moving through. It looks like you're looking for something newer, deeper, and maybe you've had enough of this accommodating energy and playing the mediator and healing things, probably a karmic cycle with maybe your parents didn't get along and you were always the one to connect and solve things for individuals. But it looks like you're trying to set up healthy boundaries in that regard. So take good care of yourself and try to make those enemies friends, even if that's your inner critic or so on.